You know, it's been 8 long years since I've lived near a 7-Eleven, and I finally do, and they have the audacity to cancel free Slurpee Day? Well, it really is a cruel, cruel world, people. It really is. Hey, so what's going on, people? Back again with the second review of the day. Should be just 2 out of 3 for right now, but we'll see what happens. So these right here. Now, I don't know how many of you guys have seen them. If you care to watch it, I did a comparison video, a bunch of slides not too long ago, or maybe it was a long time ago. Time is hard to keep up with, to say the least. But I did it. I can at least say that much. So anyways, in one of those, and actually, you know what? It might have not even been that one. It could have been the one I did in March. But anyway, in one of these slide comparison videos that I did, or maybe it was just an individual review, I honestly don't know when it happened. But somebody at some point, maybe more than one person, I've got no information, people, none. If you're picking that up, good for you. But I'll say, put it out there, I have no idea. At some point in the past, somebody commented on one of my videos and was like, hey dude, you need to try these Alphabounce slides. And I was like, all right, because he made a pretty solid case. Sometimes people just jump in there and they're like, those shoes are stupid. And I'm like, all right, thanks for watching, I guess. And other times people are like, I don't think those are better than these because these have this and this and this. Those have this, but it's not as good as that. I'm like, oh, okay, interesting. Let me go and see if I can find a pair. And I did. And so the thing about these, though, I will tell you, Adidas was, I don't know if these were a hot commodity or if they just didn't have many in stock when I bought them. But they were kind of just fluctuating on the sizing as far as the stocks of the sizing. Because I went on there one day and they were like, no. I went on there the next day and they're like, yes. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I bought it. Go in there later to look at something about them and they're like, gone again. So I don't know. I was very doubtful that they would ship, but then I got the notice and bam, box. So there's the top of the box for you, right? Standard Adidas logo. Then down there you've got more standard Adidas information, right? Sometimes it's not a whole lot, kind of like the beginning of this video. But this says Alphabounce slide in a size 9. And that's what you have to work with. So let's go ahead and get on into these, shall we? I feel like I've talked enough. Let me see if I can even get into this. There we go. Sometimes these boxes just, they don't want to work with you. But, whatever. Let's see. Oh, you know what? One thing that I was supposed to be doing with these reviews that I'm doing today is reminding people that tomorrow I'm going to be doing a live thing talking about how to, kind of talking about how to start YouTube channels, maintaining them, because, there's a lot to it. And I'm going to have a whole bunch of people, so that way you get a whole bunch of perspectives. There's going to be new people like Homegrown Kicks. There's going to be people that have been doing this for a while, like 313 Retro Queen. And there's going to be a bunch of people in the middle, like me, and the other, how many people? Other 4 people? I think it's going to be a total of 7. I don't know, with me also in there, so 8. But anyways, watch that. It'll be live tomorrow around 1 p.m. Eastern. And if you have some questions, be sure to shoot them my way and I'll make sure they get answered on the show, or just bring them up in the chat and I'll make sure they get answered on the show. Unless they don't make any sense, in which case I will ignore them. But what I won't ignore is that it is now review time on this right here, the Adidas Alphabounce slide in black and white. So there is that for you. Set this guy over here. So these are, right off the top, I will say these are looking pretty interesting, right? I didn't notice any blemishes on either pair, so that's cool. But we're gonna go ahead and just knock out this review and then I'll save my personal thoughts for a little bit later. So across the bottom, right? There you go, standard outsole I assume on these because it looks very plain and like it's nothing too fancy. So you've got just kind of some ridges going on from top to bottom across the, left to right, however you want to look at it. Then you've got that little Adidas logo going on down on the side. And then looking up at the midsole here from the side, it looks like a vent almost. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Mostly indifferent, but sometimes you just look at something and think it could be better. And that's kind of how I feel, but it doesn't much matter. It does almost remind me of like a sideways version of was it like the Lunar 3s, I think? It's an old Nike shoe. Maybe some of you guys remember that. But anyways, moving past there, it does feel pretty solid as far as all that stuff goes, but I'll see what they feel like in a minute because I've never worn a pair of these. And then we move on to the front here. So This area here, you've got kind of a lip going on, so to kind of keep your toes from, I guess, sliding off the edge or whatever. And then you've got that same sort of grid style, or excuse me, ridge style thing going on the actual, what I guess could be the insole type area of the shoe, whatever you want to call that. So you've got that there. It feels pretty nice. Just to the touch, I will say these feel very good. And then moving across to the top, you've got the standard Adidas logo, well, one of the Adidas logos, I guess you could say. The 3 stripes, no branding as far as letters go, but there is that with the ridges again. There's a lot of ridges on these, a lot of them. It's just, they were all about that. But anyway, so you got that going on. And then one of the cool things about these in some ways, which might benefit the wider footed folk like MeNMyKickz and stuff, or somebody who asked once about like, oh, are these good for wide footed people? And I was like, I don't know, probably not. But looking at these, they've got this whole Velcro thing going on there, right? So you can kind of adjust this a little bit. And then it seems to have a decent amount of padding in there. Not as much as, say, like the Air Max 90 slide, but it seems to have a little bit more than the, or at least the on par, but the Boost slide, right? Where are those? Those aren't out here. I don't know where they are. They're probably in my room. But anyway, so they seem to be pretty decent. If I have to correct that, what I said, I'll have thrown words on the screen. That's one of the joys of editing, right? So, moving past that, that's the whole look of the shoe. Nothing too crazy. Very standard, right? And now let's go ahead and see how these things feel, because that's an important piece of this puzzle, right? So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna put these on, do the whole walk around thing, and I'm gonna hit you guys with that on foot in just a second. Those videos will slide on in and we'll have a good time talking about them. Cool? All right. Okay, so I got these on and now here's my story, right? First off, the fit. We'll go with the fit first, sizing wise anyway. So yeah, these are a little bit bigger overall than a similarly sized shoe, which would be the Ultra Boost slide or whatever. But the sizing is still the same. So to me, even though they look a little bigger, I'm gonna say stick with your normal size that you would expect to wear in a pair of these. It's just that the larger area around the shoe kind of gives it a bigger look, but I don't think that I would be very comfortable having gone down. So normal size, true to size, whatever you want to call it, buy that. Now, as far as wearing these, they are a little slippery. They definitely are. This whatever this is here on the inside of the shoe, inside of the slide, maybe you get used to it over time. I don't know, it could be that they're just new, but when I talk about the Air Max or the Boost slides, those don't have this issue. So that's kind of a thing that I'm not a huge fan of. But again, it's probably not a deal breaker. It might just take some time. Moving past that, the adjustability is a good thing because as they are, they do feel just a little bit loose. And I will say that the padding there, it's very much the same as what was on the Ultra Boost slides. So no difference there. It just can feel a little, it'll probably help to give you a little bit of a better snug fit or whatever, more snug fit, if you adjust that strap, because then maybe your feet won't slide so much, but just kind of take that for what it is. Luckily they do have that strap there, so that's cool. Past that, the heel impact and just walking in them, very, very cushiony feel, like super cushiony, so that's pretty cool. And it also gives you a little bit of a height, I guess, increase there, because you could probably tell, and I'll have some side-by-sides at the end or something, but they are a little taller, a little higher than the other slides that I have, so maybe not so much the Yeezy slides, because those are like insane for some reason. But as far as the Cloud Foams, the 90s, and the Boost go, these are higher, so there's that for you too. But overall, I'm cool with them. I'm going to give them some time before I give my final thoughts, but I am definitely liking them. So whoever that person was that suggested them, good on you for doing that. And good on me for following up with it, right? I mean, I'll take a little bit of credit. So anyways, okay, now that that's all out of the way, here's the thing, right? So like I was saying before, you can kind of look at these and maybe you can just tell from there that this one is just a little bit bigger than this, right? Not a huge deal. And this, it looks like it's a little, yeah, you can probably tell from the side by side or whatever. This just kind of slopes down more in there, so that way, you know, where your heel would be. And this, not so much. So again, higher. But overall, and then compared to these, you know, like I was saying before, the amount of padding on the inside, it's crazy on these things. But yeah, so I'll probably wear these around here for a while, and then hopefully I'll get like another slide or two, another version of something, just to kind of throw in. So when I do another comparison video, I have more to talk about than just the original 1, 2, 3, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, it'd be nice to have some other stuff in there. So if you got some suggestions, please throw them my way and I'll look into them. Again, hopefully the stuff's available, because that's an issue. But anyways, past that, I've got nothing else for you. One of the things that I do like about the slipperier styling that they used on these is that it makes them a lot easier to kick off, because when I don't want my slides on anymore, I like to just kick them off and be done with it. I'm not quite up there with Matt Riddle just yet, but I'm close. I'm close. I'm doing okay. So have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I have one more video to do, and it's one that I've been looking forward to for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and knock that on out. All right, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are, and I will be back eventually. If you're back with me, great. If not, don't forget you can come back tomorrow and watch that video I was talking about. All right, later people.